Well, good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I'm your host, Neil Johnson, excited to be with you and bring you this report. Now, you know how politicians are always talking about how they're going to have the most transparent, they're going to be so transparent. And Obama said, we're going to have the most transparent administration in history. And it was the biggest cover-up administration in history. In fact, the liberal press even started to get upset because he wouldn't even allow them to places. But before I get into the news report with Governor Whitmer real quick, go to mypillow.com. There it is, MyPillow. Get yourself one of these travel pillows and some Giza sheets and some of those towels. Oh, I love those towels. Anyways, mypillow.com, promo code Lumberjack to save up to 66%. The merch store is still live too at lumberjacklogicshow.com. Okay, Governor Whitmer's administration burns documents after COVID-19 rules pushback. Okay, what started as Governor Whitmer's administration threatening businesses that allegedly violated her COVID-19 rules, later deemed unconstitutional. So that thing was beat in court, okay, ended with the first-term Democrats administration dismissing a complaint about burning documents. I wonder, it's like Hillary Clinton. What's it matter anyways after I've used my bleach, bits, and hammers? What does it all matter? And then liberals defend this kind of stuff, man. God, come on, we got to come together. Okay, if there's one issue we should be able to come together on, both conservative and liberal, is we should be able to demand accountability out of our elected representatives, and we should have freedom of speech to further expose that in whatever area it is, and expose any nefarious doings within corporations or anything. Okay, so liberals, this is something you should be concerned about as well. The Detroit News first reported this story, citing an October 12th deposition of Michigan Occupational Safety and Health Administration Inspector Matthew Hartman, who fined the city of Port Huron $6,300 after a July 21st, 2020 visit that followed a complaint of alleging violations of these rules. Despite Hartman not witnessing anyone not wearing a mask or violating any of these pandemic rules, he claimed employees he interviewed saw violations. Oh, well, that's it then. That's it. Did they sign sworn affidavits? Was it like the other stuff that took place in Michigan? I wonder if there are any more documents burned. Anyways, I'm just saying, it really doesn't make you trust these people, does it? This story, by the way, is out of the Washington Examiner. Commentary is my own, but I will link to this article. When asked about the notes he took during the investigation and interviews, Hartman said he burned them, the news reported. The inspector also said he destroyed emails from his supervisor regarding the case. Now, people, why would you burn the notes and get rid of all the emails, destroyed the emails? Why would you do that? It's unclear why. Neither MIOSHA nor Whitmer's office responded to a request for comment. Port Huron argued that the rules Herman attempted to enforce didn't apply since the Michigan Supreme Court ruled Whitmer's executive orders pertaining to the pandemic were unconstitutional. Of course they were. You couldn't buy seeds in Michigan. This woman is awful. She might be the worst governor in the country. I mean, we had Cuomo, but of course, he had his scandals and he's out. But this lady might even be worse, okay? On October 15, Port Huron's lawyer, Todd Schaude, notified the department he also planned to depose MIOSHA Director Bart Pickelman. 6 days later, MIOSHA said it planned to dismiss its case, the news reported. Of course they did. They didn't want to be deposed or disposed. Anyways, City Manager James Freed called on the Michigan legislature to investigate MIOSHA's governance structure and appeal process. My heart breaks for the small businesses and mom and pops that didn't have an expert legal team, who didn't have the resources to put MIOSHA under oath. Freed told the news about the city's roughly $15,000 to $20,000 appeal costs. See, this is what they do. These government cronies, they do stuff that are completely unconstitutional, completely in violation. They lie, they burn documents, they do all of it. But these mom and pop businesses aren't able to pursue these vast expenses. And that's what their hope is, because they're engaged in lawfare. They take Soros money, they funnel it in. He takes all that money and it all goes to lawfaring, like Mark Elias and people like this. Anyhow, I just want America to be a land where we are more concerned about the rule of law, exposing what is wrong, than this tribalism and party stuff, okay? That's why I catch some of Russell Brand's videos, and I like him because even as a liberal, he can at least see things. But some of these people are so in defense mode, okay? And liberals will say, well, you do the same thing because, whatever. Matt Gaetz, I'll bring up Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz, we don't have any provable stuff on that. Did you realize that? The same, they go on about Trump, but the fact is, Trump's record of accomplishment is good. They haven't been able to do anything. It's been completely radical impeachment proceedings. Come on, man. Okay? Anyways, let's see. While MIOSHA cites its general duty to protect Michiganders, the deposition suggests Whitmer's executive orders led MIOSHA's rule enforcement. So it sounds like the standard that you were measuring employers by, though, was the specific language of the executive orders in determining whether or not there was a general duty clause violation. True? Shouty asked, the transcript says. I would say yes, that's true, Hartman responded. The news reported that MIOSHA declined to answer questions about the case in a Saturday statement because the dismissal still needed to be reviewed by the Board of Health and Safety Compliance and Appeals set for November 19th. So what do they always do? They always use this, we can't talk about it because it's under this and that. Okay, there's some truth to that, but the fact is what they're doing is just covering. They're covering their butts. They're always doing it. The Michigan Freedom Fund called on Whitmer to apologize and rescind every MIOSHA fine and order related to her COVID-19 orders. Oh, yes, she'll take that loss. Guys, you got a bigger fight on your hands in Michigan. A bigger fight, okay? Despite the initial $6,300 fine to Port Huron, Landshark Bar and Grill and East Lansing Bar, where Whitmer violated her own COVID-19 rules in May, was not fined. See, now they're picking favorites. Who greases the skids? Who's going to give him the money? Kind of like the candy store here in Minnesota with Governor Walz. By the way, I wonder if Governor Walz isn't like Governor Whitmer, but without the balls. Anyway, I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Anyways, she's certainly not willing to answer questions, though. During her campaign for governor, Whitmer promised to make state government more open. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry, I hadn't read this far ahead. During her campaign for governor, Whitmer promised to make state government more open, transparent, and accountable. B as in B, S as in S, folks. Instead, the culture she has created empowers and allows officials to burn documents and delete emails, MFF Director Tori Sachs said in a statement. The destructions of documents and emails should be fully investigated, and Whitmer should reveal what her administration is trying to cover up. Michigan GOP Communications Director Gustavo Portola called for an investigation. It's very clear, and it is. Gretchen Whitmer and her administration abandoned transparency, a key part of her campaign progress to Michiganders. I want to know, Gustavo, why you're not concerned about other areas that weren't so transparent. Stay on the issue of the day in Michigan, folks. Stay on it, please. Matt DePerno for AG. She's not the only one who failed to follow the rules everyone else was forced to follow, but now we find out her administration has been disposing of important documents related to COVID fines. Gretchen Whitmer's administration must be investigated because Michiganders deserve answers. Folks, I want to thank you so much for all your support. Please go to lumberjacklogicshow.com. I've only got a limited number of the mugs. Okay, they are hand-thrown pottery, but there are some great shirts. Okay. That song, take this job and shove it. Okay, I've got a shirt that plays off that. That's even better, okay? I think it's going to be the most popular shirt. I do have, of course, Let's Go Brandon. That's been big. Anyways, I love you folks. They will, they'll have the little circle on the sleeve with the Lumberjack Logic logo. That'll be on there. It just doesn't show up in there. Anyways, I just want to let you know that. They're going to be super cool, super great fabrics, all that stuff. Go over there, and my wife and I have some books. Great Christmas presents, folks. Christmas is coming, all right? We'll get you out some books. I love you all. Peace out.